My name is Jose Gonzalez, Master Gunnery Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. I work at MAGTF Training Directorate here at MAGTF Training Command, 29 Palms, California. Here at 29 Palms, typically the Marine Corps comes out here, has come out here for several decades to train service level training, to get its units to prepare for combat. And this is the best place to do it. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of real estate whereby Marines can become more proficient in the warfighting trade. Based on what the Commandant's intent is, he quotes the 31st Commandant, General Krulak, and says, the Marine Corps must always be the force of choice, a certain force for an uncertain world. So force on force here at MAGTF Training Command is really, by design, a way to adapt to the pacing threat. Speed of adaptation is really what the driving focus is, rather than to continue doing what was done in the past, which is essentially chase a standard, how you would measure Marines and the units, individual and collective type training. This is a little bit different. It's how a unit and an individual Marine is assessed based on the rapidly changing threat. Introducing friction, introducing a dynamic confrontation out in the training area where you pit one Marine against an opposing force, a thinking enemy. Best analogy that I can use is one that I've heard General Turner talk about. When it comes to force on force, think of it more like a sparring partner. Whereas if you're training for a match or a fight, if a boxer's training, the punching bag doesn't, and then a speed bag, they don't hit back, right? So you really can't gauge how effective you are as a fighter unless you go toe-to-toe with a thinking opponent. And so if you're a boxer, you want a sparring partner because they're going to force you to think through some of your defense and offense techniques and procedures. So basically, that's what we're installing here on board the Combat Center. What underscores the value of force-on-force training is just in the revelation that the commanders will have out in the training area as well as the Marines, and the contributions they can make. Mid-level staff, NCOs, and company-grade officers, in my mind, will probably influence a lot of the changes as we move into the future. We're just consolidating our resources in a smart way, saving taxpayer dollars, but getting the biggest bang for our buck out there in the training area. I think that's exactly, and it matches the Commandant's intent. So, as far as taking care of Marines, this is the best way to do it. Marines are more inclined, in my mind, having grown up as one of the guys out there in the field having to do this. The more I can get out of the training, I think, and the more Marines can get out of this training, the better they'll be when they actually go forward and face the real enemy. This is a bloodless battle out here. If I can learn lessons and it doesn't cost Marines lives here, and it prepares me for an actual kinetic engagement with a thinking adversary, I think as a service overall, we're going to be much better. America's going to be much happier too when we bring our Marines back home after they rotate out.